The Democratic Socialists of America facing their final primary test today. This time it's in Florida. The DSA endorsing Oliver Larkin, who's facing off against incumbent Democrat Jared Moskowitz. This is the 25th district. Now, should Larkin win, it could grow what some are calling the House of Representatives Socialist Squad. Democratic Socialists drawing plenty of attention across the country, especially here in New York. New York State Assemblywoman Emily Gallagher sparking backlash for suggesting that shoplifting should essentially be decriminalized, and stealing for biological needs is just fine. Now, many on Capitol Hill are questioning exactly what direction the Democrats are headed. I want to bring in New York Congressman Mike Lawler. Congressman, I want to get your thoughts on this. It's great to talk to you because, you know, look, for an example, here in New York City, we've lost 50% of our drugstores. There's not a Rite Aid left in New York City because of the rampant theft and stealing. Now you've got this woman saying that it should be okay and that we shouldn't prosecute it all. Your thoughts?
Well, it's really quite jarring. I mean, the CVS in Times Square, I believe, loses up to about 70% of its product due to theft. This is a fundamental problem. I served with Emily. She's a lunatic. You know, when I was in the state assembly, she was pushing all of this nonsense. The fact is, you look at my constituent, Sheridan Gorman, 18-year-old young girl. She was killed by somebody who committed shoplifting and then was released back out onto the streets in Chicago. This idea that it should be decriminalized is absurd. And the other thing, you know, the video package showed, armed robbers going into these stores. Democrats often talk about gun violence. Why is it that they don't actually want to prosecute criminals who use guns in the commission of a crime? They simply want to go after law-abiding gun owners and prevent them from exercising their Second Amendment. Criminals, however, they want to release them back out on the streets only to reoffend. This is a fundamental problem with the lunacy that they push. This DSA movement is not going to be welcomed by the vast majority of Americans. If they win tonight in Florida in that 25th congressional seat, that will almost guarantee Republicans will win that seat in November. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But this is going to be met with big backlash and resistance by most Americans this November. You know, my opponent, Kate Conley, she'll say she's a moderate, yet she supports Medicare for all. She supports Kathy Hochul's sanctuary state policies that release criminals back out onto the streets and prohibit law enforcement from cooperating with them. She supports open borders. She wants to raise taxes by $4 trillion on Americans. That's not moderate. That's insane.
And they come up with all of these slogans that they're using on the campaign trail, but it seems to be working. Like you said, you know, they'll say we're going to abolish ICE, you know, rent stabilization, Medicare for all, et cetera. But then you get this new CBS News poll that finds that socialism is seen in a very positive or somewhat positive light by 58% of Democratic respondents. 50% say they see capitalism in a negative or somewhat negative light. And then you've got another poll finding voters think Democrats are better at handling the economy than Republicans, Congressman. I mean, how do Republicans fight back and message out the work that has been done over the last year and a half, whether it was from the Big Beautiful Bill Act that was passed last year, the boost in tax returns that we saw in the second quarter for Americans, all of that, you know, how do we get that to the forefront for the party, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, what it says is that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are not the leaders of the Democratic Party. They have no message. They have no plan. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Zohran Mamdani, and their radical band of nitwits have seized control of the Democratic Party, the message, and the policy agenda. I mean, think back to 2016. The things that Bernie Sanders was running on is now the mainstream view within the Democratic Party. So that speaks volumes to where the Democratic Party is today. But the vast majority of Americans are not there. I think when it comes to what we've actually been able to do, we delivered the largest tax cut in American history. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and lifting the cap on SALT, the state and local tax tax deduction, these don't benefit billionaires and millionaires. They benefit working class and middle class families, which is why 97% of Americans saw a tax cut this past April. So the fact is, we have delivered the largest tax cut in American history. We secured the border and stopped the massive influx of illegal immigration. 14 straight months of net zero illegal entry into this country. Yes, gas prices need to come down. That's why we need to increase domestic production of energy. We need permitting reform to increase these large-scale energy projects. We want utility rates to come down. Utility rates in New York, Cheryl, are up 58% since Kathy Hochul shut down Indian Point, which is why I'm calling for Indian Point to be rebuilt and reopened. 2.4 gigawatts of power to the region. That is critically important if you want to bring down cost. We just passed the single largest housing package in 36 years. That was a Republican Congress that did it, to increase supply. Madison just talked about the fundamental problem with rent. It is supply and demand. That is basic economics. Socialism will not create more supply. All it's going to do is create more vacant units, because by freezing the rent, while it sounds lovely, these landowners are not able to upgrade the apartments. They have to continue to pay their tax burden. So what are they going to do? They're going to write off the apartment by leaving it vacant. We already have over 50,000 vacant units in New York City because of that disastrous rent control law from 2019.
And I'm glad you brought up that nuclear power plant that you're saying, because and you pointed out how much we're paying in electricity here in New York State, because it's happening in many states. And nuclear power is something that the president and in particular Interior Secretary Burgum have really pushed for. Let's make sure that we have enough energy to power these data centers that are coming. I mean, your election, your re-election bid is one of the most closely watched races in the cycle right now. Not just because you want to, obviously you want to reopen Indian Point, but also the data centers have become a big focus in the state of New York. You know, you had Kathy Hochul go out and say that she's going to put a moratorium, a ban on these data centers, but that hurts the overall economy of New York State in the face of the high electricity prices that we're already paying, which she used as her crux. What are you hearing when you go out and you talk to your constituents about the energy story and then that data center pushback that we've been hearing about?
Well, there's a few issues here, right? Number one, New York has shut down nuclear power, banned natural gas, blocked pipelines. They required all electrification of the grid, all electric construction. It has created a mess. That's why utility rates are up 58% in 6 years. That has nothing to do with Washington and everything to do with Albany and New York City, which is entirely run by Democrats. So when you look at the situation and Kathy Hochul implements a statewide moratorium, what she is saying is, don't come here. Go do your business elsewhere, which is why New York State leads the nation in outmigration. It's why it is a terrible place to do business, and why people are expanding in Florida and Texas and Tennessee and North Carolina and South Carolina and elsewhere. We have the highest tax burden and the worst business climate. If you want to address these problems, you need to have a coherent economic and energy policy, and that is fundamental if New York is going to prosper moving forward.
A key piece of your messaging as you are out on the campaign trail. We obviously are watching your race come November and many of these primaries today happening. Congressman Mike Lawler, it's always great to have you on our program. Thank you for being with us,
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
Thanks, Cheryl.